Rafizi Ramli arrived at the MACC headquarters at about 9:30 a.m. this morning to give his statement over the arm holdings deal investigation. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said that government measures to address cost of living pressures must be prudent and targeted. Stay tuned for this and more on KiniNews. This was the scene outside the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya at around 9:40 a.m. this morning. Former Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli had arrived around 10 minutes earlier and was greeted by around 30 of his supporters. Rafizi was at the MACC headquarters to provide his statement over the probe into the government's 1.1 billion ringgit deal with British semiconductor company Arm Holdings. Speaking to reporters before entering the MACC compound, Rafizi said he will cooperate fully and had nothing to hide, adding that he was confident of his case if the matter goes to court. On Saturday, MACC Senior Investigation Director Muhammad Hafaz Nazar reportedly said that the case is being probed under Section 23 of the MACC Act 2009 for the misuse of position or authority for gratification. According to Bernama, he said 22 statements have been taken, including from ministers and senior officials across several government agencies, since the investigation started on February 13, 2025. Muhammad Hafaz added that the anti-graft body had recorded statements from Rafizi's former aide, Chai Jin-shern, better known as James Chai, for 3 consecutive days from Tuesday last week. It was previously reported that the investigation followed complaints from several NGOs alleging that the agreement was hastily arranged and biased and could have financial implications for the government. The government has acknowledged cost of living pressures. However, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said that responses must be targeted and measured. Speaking at an event this morning, he said that this is because not all issues can be fully resolved due to the country's financial constraints, especially amid an uncertain global environment.
Apakah saya nafikan bahawa ada permasalahan dari segi kos sara hidup dan harga barang? Saya tak nafikan. Apakah ia harus ditangani dengan bijak? Yes. Apakah mampu kita bantu? Saya jawab, sebahagiannya ya. Tak mampu kita bantu semua. Seperti sudah lihat umpamanya, Budi 95 pun dah mencecah tiap bulan. Kalau bayang 10 bulan, kosnya itu terlalu tinggi. Tapi saya fikir kalau cakap Budi 95 itu, kita pertahan sebab terlalu ramai yang menggunakan. Seperti mana saya katakan, telur dan ayam. Itu kalau perlu disesuaikan sedikit dengan keadaan sekarang, boleh. Tapi ada masalah-masalah sukar kita kawal. Ya? Seperti yang disebut minyak dan diesel.
Anwar added that the high subsidy bill remains a major challenge and requires policy adjustments from time to time. He stressed that the government is focusing on targeted assistance to protect those most in need, while continuing to monitor prices and gather ground feedback to ensure policies remain effective. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. Anwar told reporters later that adjustments to operating expenditure will not affect critical sectors such as healthcare and education. He said the recruitment of new doctors and nurses, as well as the construction of clinics, will not be affected. Only the scope of more luxurious hospitals will be scaled back. He added that school construction projects, including the addition of new classrooms to accommodate student intake, will proceed as planned. As such, Anwar criticized certain parties for reacting hastily without basing their views on facts regarding the government's spending restructuring measures. He explained that cost-saving efforts are focused on expenditures deemed excessive, including overseas courses, events held at luxury hotels, and development projects that go beyond actual needs. He said courses that can be conducted locally will now be held within the country, while official events are encouraged to take place at ministry premises to reduce costs. On April 29th, the Finance Ministry confirmed that guidelines had been issued to ministries and agencies to restructure operating expenditure in line with challenges arising from global supply disruptions and rising subsidy commitments. The move is part of a prudent fiscal management approach to optimize government resources and ensure continued support for the people. A majority of UMNO's representatives in Negri Sembilan appear to be backing the party leadership's decision for them to remain as part of the coalition government in the state. According to a source, 12 out of 14 UMNO assembly persons in the state rejected the idea of joining the opposition bloc. This was shared during a meeting with Party President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi on April 30th. That meeting came just one day after UMNO U-turned on its position in Negri Sembilan and said it will continue to support the coalition state government while respecting the position of the BN assembly persons. The source who was at the meeting told Malaysia Kini that the stand taken by the 12 assembly persons clearly contradicted recent statements made by Negri Sembilan UMNO chief Jalaluddin Alias. During the meeting, the group also proposed returning UMNO representatives to EXCO roles to serve as a check and balance mechanism in the state. The source said that names of certain assembly persons were proposed to the president to be considered for the vacant positions. The source stated that during the meeting, Zahid reminded the assembly persons not to take matters into their own hands by having private negotiations for positions in the state government. The meeting, which was held in Kuala Lumpur, was also attended by UMNO Secretary General Ashraf Washid Dusuki. Jalaluddin, the Pertang assembly person, and UMNO Deputy President Muhammad Hassan, who represents Rantau, were reportedly both absent. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Speaking of Muhammad Hassan, Zahid has stated that it is not fair to accuse him of being the mastermind behind Negri Sembilan BN's withdrawal of support from Menteri Besar Aminuddin Harun. On the contrary, he said that Muhammad had played a key role in easing the administrative crisis in the state. According to Bernama, Zahid said that Muhammad, better known as Tokmat, consistently sought solutions through discussions with party leaders to defuse the situation. He added that Tokmat frequently held discussions with him to find a solution. Zahid was responding to allegations by certain parties claiming that Muhammad was the mastermind behind the political turmoil in Negri Sembilan. On UMNO's stance regarding the state's administrative issue, Zahid said the decision by 14 assemblymen was to remain with the unity government. He added that there is no question of withdrawing to become the opposition and it had never been an issue. Last week, Negri Sembilan BN announced that all 14 of its assembly persons were withdrawing support from Aminuddin over the latter's handling of the royal crisis in the state. Muhammad is one of the 14 assembly persons, but was not present when the announcement was made. On Thursday, Zahid said that all the assemblymen had agreed to continue supporting the state unity government to ensure stability. DAP Youth has commended the recent water music festivals held across Malaysia, particularly the Rain Rave Water Music Festival 2026 in Kuala Lumpur. This comes despite criticism of the event from various quarters. In a statement today, its chairperson Wu Ka-leong described the event as a resounding success that boosted the country's international profile and injected fresh momentum into the tourism sector. With this, he urged the Tourism, Arts and Culture Ministry to seize this opportunity to further develop the concerts economy model. This is to ensure Malaysia holds a strong position in the global entertainment tourism landscape instead of losing ground to neighbors. He said that while neighboring countries like Singapore have an early lead in the concert economy, including exclusive deals with international artists, Malaysia still has unique advantages that are hard to replicate. He highlighted Malaysia's relatively lower venue rental and labor costs, affordable and convenient accommodation and transportation as well as food, which is regarded as among the best in Asia as examples. Wu also hit out at UMNO Youth Chief Ahmad Saleh and PN for failing to offer constructive proposals to support small tourism businesses. Instead, he said they act as tourism repellents ahead of Visit Malaysia Year 2026, when the country needs tourism ambassadors to draw steady visitor flows. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.